You can find me on Facebook under Amber Johnson. It'll say on there, Helping the Good People. That's my main account. I've got about 4, so I don't know. This will be the first time I've gone on my recorder to post it on YouTube. My children are watching this all the time. They said they are subscribers. And I have a lot of videos that are like uncut live feeds. And today I wanted to focus more on the Holy Bible. Okay, I'm encouraged every day to go on Facebook and do Proverbs and read for you guys. And I'm getting a lot of good feedback. So this time I keep forgetting about my recorder. So I'm going to read for you guys. Matthew 24 came about today. And I'm going to try to figure out a way to reword this again since I just went live. But today I wanted to talk about endings and new beginnings, and also about building solid foundations. And also, what do you get from that? You reap the rewards of building those solid foundations, but also focusing on the strengths of weaknesses, which is our strengths and weaknesses, and allowing both sides to merge together and get a rein on that. Now, with that comes with fasting. For myself, I forget to eat sometimes, and then I realize that it's because I'm contemplating so much stuff going on in my life that I literally forget. But it's also fasting, I guess, because that's when I get my best inspiration, is when I'm in that zone of going, okay, what do I need to focus on? I need to let go of some things, so what is that? So allowing that process to go on in my head, it caused me to forget to eat. I'm sorry. But I don't know if you guys are out there and you're purging. When I say purging, I mean like past memories coming up, things from the past triggering you, realizations of what needs to change in your life, things like that. And actually that regards to persevering and moving forward instead of being stuck. Allowing your old self to be released from your new self in spirit. So about letting go. See, I'm even writing stuff down now. I do prayer requests and prayer chains for people too. I also go to church every Sunday and put prayer requests in the boxes for the church to read. So if you guys need anything like that, just hit me up. You can find me on Facebook, like I said. And if you want to see any of my other videos, they're on YouTube under Helping the Good People. So I'm going to jump into this. I'm going to read about Matthew because it talks about the world and what's going on and what is to come. And I was asking the Lord, like, Lord, what can I take from today about the future, about building solid foundations and the endings and new beginnings of what I've been experiencing with all this turmoil and past memories, the fasting, purging. I mean, it's boiled up to making an extreme break and realizing that no matter what's going on in our lives, we have the power to change it. We have the power to live with love and light and not darkness. And the nations and the world seems to be at war, which we are. We've been at war for a very long time. A lot of people seem to be fighting and fighting change, but yet they are not. A lot of us are standing together, that we're coming together, and it's more about following our own heart and instincts and not listening to others, because what is to come, and no one knows when that time will come. It's more about what are you doing now to build your solid foundations, to stick to your ground, to your root, ground yourself. So let me just jump into it. I could talk about this stuff all day, every day, but of course, got to put on my reading glasses. So it's a little bit long, but just bear with me because it will make sense. It'll click to what's going on in the world and how maybe, hopefully, you view what's to come and what you need to do now to prepare yourself. It's just about being prepared, being open to anything, okay? So Matthew 24 says, Jesus left the temple and was walking away when his disciples came up to him to call his attention to the buildings. Do you see all these things, he asked? Truly, I tell you, not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down. As Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. "Tell us," they said, "when will this happen, and what will be the sign of the coming and the end of age?" Jesus answered, "Watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, claiming, 'I am the Messiah,' and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed." In other words, don't worry about what you hear. "Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famine and earthquakes in various places. All these things are the beginning of the birth pains." So it kind of sounds like with what's going on in the world, don't you think? Like with the earthquakes, the volcanoes, and all the fighting. And that's why I was like, oh Lord, this is just what I need to hear. "So when you see standing in the holy place the abomination that causes desolation, spoken of through the prophet Daniel, let the reader understand. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let no one on the housetop go down to take anything out of the house. Let no one in the field go back to get their cloak. How dreadful it will be in those days for pregnant women and nursing mothers. Pray that your flight will not take place in winter or on Sabbath. For then there will be great distress, unequal from the beginning of the world until now, and never to be equaled again." In other words, when anything happens, you don't think about it, you just react. Just go. "So, if anyone tells you there is out of the wilderness, do not go out, or here he is in the inner rooms, do not believe it. For as lightning that comes from the east is visible even in the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. Wherever there is carcass, there is vultures will gather. Immediately after the distress of those days, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky, and the heavenly bodies will be shaken." I like this next part. "Then will appear," yeah, I don't know, that sounds pretty gloomy, doesn't it? I don't even know how to react. It doesn't sound good, but I do like this next part, guys, because that is what I mean about building solid foundations, preparing for anything that can happen. Then will appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then all the peoples of the earth will mourn when they see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with the power and great glory. And he will send his angels with a loud trumpet call, and they will gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heavens to the other." Now that sounds beautiful. I'm going to wait for that one. "Now learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near. Even so, when you see all these things, you know that it is near, right at the door. Truly I tell you, this generation will certainly not pass away until all these things have happened. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. But about that day or hour, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father." In other words, only the Father knows when it will happen. "As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. For in the days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark. And they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away. That is how it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken and the other left. 2 women will be grinding with the hand mill, one will be taken and the other left. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know on what day your Lord will come. But understand this, if the owner of the house had known at the time of night the thief was coming, he would have kept watch and would have not let his house be broken into. So you also must be ready, because the Son of Man will come at an hour when you do not expect him." In other words, keep doing what you're doing, keep building those solid foundations, keep going forward with your heart, with what's just right and fair, and don't worry about it. You know, you never know when he's going to come to judge. "Who then is the faithful and wise servant, whom the master has put in charge of the servants in the household to give them their food at the proper time? It will be good for that servant whose master finds him doing so when he returns. Truly I tell you, he will be put in charge of his possessions. But suppose that servant is wicked and says to himself, my master is staying away a long time, and he then begins to beat his fellow servant, and to eat and drink with drunkards. The master of the servant will come on a day when he does not expect him, and at an hour he is not aware of. He will cut him to pieces and assign him to a place with the hypocrites. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. It is a beautiful story. There are so many beautiful stories in Matthew, but that one right there really called out to me to go live and express that to you guys. So I hope you got from that what you take from it. I'm more about the strength and weaknesses. A lot of times I feel weak. I feel very weak. I feel like I have no friends, no life, and like, oh my gosh. But that's part of the purging. That's part of the endings and the new beginnings. And we're all going through it on a worldwide basis. Everyone I'm coming in contact with, they're all saying that they're going through these phases and that there's like this energy flow and like things are happening and people are finally giving in and saying, I'm tired of this old life. I'm tired of this, what we call 3D version of life. Most of this stuff, like they say, even in the Bible, states that most of our thinking and our actions and things are based out of fear and not to rely on that. Ooh, sounds like my cat's getting into cupboards right when I said that. So allow your old self to be released and let go. Allow those memories and, and the light went out. Hold on. See, I'm going to show you guys my cat, Braddy. Say hi, Braddy. Say hi, Braddy. Yeah, that's Braddy. Allow those memories of past and regrets and grief and everything to come to the surface and heal and use that. I am in the process of making a change now, and I just got my new place all by myself, and I have decided that part of letting go of my past is going to be doing a burn. I'm creating a little bonfire in my backyard, my new backyard, and I'm going to put all my past stuff in there, and I'm going to burn it and say goodbye, and that's a start. And moving was a big jump for me. So, I'm building my new solid foundation because in the end, I'm going to reap the rewards. I'm going to forget about what's going on, start focusing on what I can do here in Tucson to help others. And I'm going to continue to do that in whichever way my heart guides me in, my spirit. Stand firm. Okay, guys? I like to end it with the Ephesians for protection. I'm going to set this back down for a minute. Stand firm with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with a readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith with which you can extinguish all those flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of Spirit, which is the word of God, and pray in spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. Keep it in mind and always pray for all the Lord's people. I've said my daily prayers. I've posted the daily bread on Facebook. And if you want to get in touch with me or you need a prayer or a prayer chain, let me know. And thank you for joining me in my home. New beginnings are coming, guys. All of this stuff that we're purging out right now is meant to happen. Grasp it, grab it, run with it, create something new. God says he drops that vase, man, you break into 1,000 pieces, but he is masterfully putting you back together, recreating the real you, the one that's childlike. Find yourself, find what you love, what you thrive to do, and allow it, because you never know when it's going to be gone. I know all too well about losing things. And I'll tell you what, it took a kick in my butt and losing everything in my life to bring me closer to God and to realize what is important to me. And that is family. That is friends. That is loving each other and forgiveness. Forgive, forgive, forgive. I've forgiven. Let's move on together. Let's come together in love, man. And music. Don't forget about music, because most of my videos are all music. I'm like a little 5-year-old all over. That's my childlike behavior right there. That's my niche. Music, helping, giving back. Give back today, all right? Thank you. God bless.